Hello everyone, welcome back. This is the fourth module and we were learning the lesson Evans tries an O level written by Colin Dexter. So the governor ordered everybody to check McCleary as well. So Jackson retrieves McCleary and searches him. Jackson questions him about a semi-inflated rubber ring, asking if the minister is going swimming later. But McCleary, who was a kind person, did not like such kind of questions. So McCleary sorely replies that it's a special cushion for his hemorrhoid problem. But Jackson apologizes on hearing this, but later he finds a paper knife which was confiscated by him. After searching, he found that McCleary had nothing very particular. He had only a special cushion or a paper knife. And after this, the exam begins a few minutes later than the scheduled time. So Evans is instructed about how to fill the index number, center number, etc. And after that, Evans insists that he'll not be able to concentrate if somebody is hovering in the cell. So this is overheard through the receiver by the governor, and he orders Stephens to leave, admitting that they might be overdoing it. And finally, after all these things set up, the exam begins at 9:25 a.m. Within 15 minutes after this beginning of this exam, probably by 9:45 a.m., the governor receives a call from the examination board for a correction in the question paper. This puts the jail officials in suspicion. So every second, with every single thing happening, the governor and the officials are actually kind of afraid and threatened. They are afraid that Evans might be trying to escape using any of these persons outside. So they are afraid or suspicious even regarding a phone call. But however, the governor tries to cross-check the authenticity of the call. The necessary changes were made in the question paper after the information that they got from the person who called. Throughout the examination, Stephens closely supervises the cell by peering through the peephole at frequent intervals of 5 seconds every minute. So a task he finds entirely pointless, given that Evans has barely moved and McCleary silently reading his issue of the Church Times with one finger hooked under his clerical collar. So both McCleary and Stephens was closely looking at the things done by Evans. So after some time, something happens. So Evans, who is inside the cell, complains that it is so cold inside. So he asks permission to cover himself with a blanket. Even though this seemed quite skeptical, Stephens doesn't report the matter to Jackson. So as the prison is cold, Stephens decides to return to 1 minute intervals at the peephole. So finally he is covering himself with a blanket. At 11:20 a.m., the governor listens as McCleary informs Evans that there are only 5 minutes remaining. 3 minutes before the end of the examination at 11:22, Jackson receives the governor's call asking Stephens to escort McCleary to the prison's gate and to personally ensure that the door is locked on Evans. Finally, at 11:25 a.m., the exam is over and Evans is asked to submit his sheets. So that's where we are going to end this chapter today. We'll look at the chapter in detail during the interactive sessions. Thank you all.